Number 9. xk equals x plus 1, where k is 15 halves. Same thing, put that 15 halves in for the k, and we'll work from there. So I have 15 halves x, and I'm going to put the 15 halves first because I'm used to seeing a number part in front of a variable. So I'll write it that way. And you can multiply in any order, so I haven't broken any rules by doing that. And then I have x plus 1 on the right hand side. Now I can see I have two x's. I want to combine them. I'm going to move this x to the left, so minus x. And on the right hand side, you can see that those x's are going to cancel one another, and I'll just be left with a 1 on the right. On the left, it's a little bit trickier. I have 15 halves minus 1, and I want to figure out what that is, so I can either use my calculator with the fractions, or I can multiply this fraction, and I need to have it as something over 2. So I'm just going to pick 2 for the denominator, and then I have to multiply the numerator by 2 to keep the fraction equivalent. So I end up with 15 halves minus 2 halves. So 2 halves, remember, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that's equivalent to the 1 that was there. So I have 15 minus 2, so 13, and remember, keep that one denominator. And so I have 13 halves x equals 1. Almost done. The last thing I want to do is get the x by itself, so because it has a fraction being multiplied by it, I do the inverse and multiply both sides of the equation. So I'll multiply both sides by 2 over 13, 2 over 13, and remember on the left, these 13s reduce, the 2's reduce, and I'm left with x, and on the right, I have 1 times 2 over 13, or 2/13 all by itself like that. Now to check, I can do that. I have x, so I'm going to put my x in here. I'm multiplying by 15 halves, and I want to see if that is whatever my x is, plus 1. So I will put in my x, which was 2/13, in 2 different places. And next thing I want to do is simplify. I can see that my 2's reduce, but I end up with 15/13. Remember, you multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom with fractions when you're multiplying. And then 2/13 plus, I need something over 13 that's equivalent to 1. And I know 13 divided by itself will be the same thing as 1. So I can change the 1 to a 13 over itself. And then now I can just add my 2 numerators here. So I have 2 plus 13, or 15 over 13 equals 15 over 13. That means that my 2/13 for my x is correct.